Buenas. How are we? So yesterday morning, come up here and I go, the pyramids and the speed of light. Arguably, two of the biggest lies that humanity has ever been told, right? Pyramids, Egyptians, no. It's logistically impossible. Speed of light, 299,792,458 meters per second. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Because of the solar eclipse. Okay, I'm not going to turn the camera around. We know we have a solar eclipse up there, which proves that light is absolute. When I got up here yesterday morning, it's in the back of my mind all of the time. Should I have written on the board as well? Earth is round. And started by saying, arguably, the three biggest lies that humanity has ever been told. I know that the first two are lies. I know the Egyptians didn't build the pyramids because it's logistically impossible. Just the 2.3 million 2.5 ton stones. 25,000 Egyptians. It defies logic and it defies common sense. The speed of light. We have a solar eclipse, right? It can only play out with absolute light. There can be no light delay, okay? It's ridiculous. The amount of methods being claimed over the ages that have measured the speed of light are ridiculous. They're an insult to people's intelligence. Now, Earth flat, Earth round. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. What does it come down to? For me, what does it come down to? You Google this, that, and the other. Google and NASA working together since 2005. Google means jack, right? I don't believe a thing that I read anymore, right? It all has to come down to your personal observations, right? Now, I'm going to go out on a limb again here. I am not saying that it's flat, and I am not saying that it's round. What I do understand is they lie, and those lies have been pummeled into us since we're children, right? The flat earth thing, there's one thing. There are a couple of things, right? Again, let me stop for a second. I understand right now, in this moment, all of the flat earthers, if I say it's round, they're going to be going, dude, it's freaking flat. And all of the round earthers, I have been a round earther all of my life. I wasn't aware that it could be flat. I didn't even know it was a thing, right? Until very recently, a few years, 5, I don't know, right? But I understand the deceit and the lies. This morning, last night, I thought that was a spider. And you read up, right? And what they say, you've got all of these people, and they say, well, if it was flat, it would mean we would have to ignore centuries of studies and proof and evidence. And then I catch myself and I say to myself, the speed of light. The lies. I know for a fact it doesn't. Here's the thing. I don't care if the King of England came up to me right now and said, Paul, listen, light travels at 299,792 kilometers per second. I'd say, look, with all due respect, sir, I think that's ridiculous because of the solar eclipse, because of the methods that have been claimed to have worked this out. It does not matter what anybody else says to me about anything. I can think for myself. I'm objective. Can you see how wired up I am? I've only had a cup of tea this morning. I don't even have coffee. Ran out of coffee yesterday. Need to go shopping. But here we are. The big picture. It doesn't matter what anybody else says about anything. That I have learned. People lie. People lie for their own benefit, the narrative, right? So where am I right now? There's this one thing that I cannot shake, okay? Now this is it. I don't know how many times I've mentioned the amount of cockpits of planes that I've been in, all right? First of all, the curvature. It's every kilometre, the distance travelled straight, the curvature dictates at 12,742 kilometres, 12,742 kilometres in diameter, a circumference of 40,075 kilometres. Every kilometre that you travel forwards, there is supposed to be a drop of 8 centimetres. Right? I had it written down in miles as well, but I'm doing it in K's. I'm sure you all know what it is, those of you who are into this thing. Now, every kilometre that I walk forwards, the curvature of Earth with that circumference, right, 40,075 and 75 kilometres, that's all the way round, right, dictates that it should drop 8 centimetres, right? Now, again, my observations, and I have cast my mind back over and over and over every time. Not every time I've been in the cockpit, but the amount of times that I've been in the cockpit with the pilot, the co-pilot, and you're looking out of the window, I say the window, whatever, you know what I mean, right? So there's all the controls and all the buttons and flashing lights, and you've got all the lights and switches up here, and we're looking out. The pilot will say, right, got the radar and everything. See that over there? It's a Lufthansa 747 Heavy. It's coming towards us, but it's about 4 k's that way. So it's nowhere near a collision course. That's not what I'm talking about. But I can picture seeing this, right, as it's coming towards us. We're travelling at approximately 500 miles an hour, 800 kilometres per hour. The 747 Lufthansa Heavy is travelling at the same speed. That's 1,600 kilometres an hour between us, right? Now, I can never remember a time, and I have seen lots of planes coming towards the plane that I'm travelling in, right? Whether it's that side or that side, and through the passenger. Listen, when I was on planes, my forehead, I always used to ask for a window seat. My forehead would be up against the window. I'd be sat like that and just amazed, right, at what I was seeing. Just traveling oceans, and I used to recognize bits of land. Traveling from the US to Europe and that kind of thing. I used to know where I was. I traveled that often. And I can never remember seeing a plane coming towards us that would suggest it would have been coming slightly uphill. The fumes, the trail of whether it's vapor or chemtrails or whatever it may be, always flew straight as an arrow. Right? Now, 8 centimetres per kilometre. We have, how much notice would, maybe 10 seconds, 15 seconds? Look, if you look in the distance, you can see a 747 Lufthansa Heavy. And you'd be looking and you could see it. And It would come, and as it got closer, it would speed up. It's fascinating. You could see, wow. And I cast my mind back, and you can see it's all straight as far as the eye can see. You can see the trail that it's left, right? Now, if there were a curvature, surely at that speed and at those distances, that high up, would there not be an indication that both planes were kind of going like that? I've never, ever noticed, right? And listen, I am talking about my own observations. It's the only thing you can rely on. All of these people that go, yeah, but scientific this and the studies and that, rubbish, all of it. I know that for a fact because of the speed of light. Throughout from 1600s onwards. No, he did this, he did that. No, they didn't. It's rubbish, it's lies. Nobody spun mirrors to work out the speed of light. So this is where I'm at. I can understand in my mind, being a round earther all of my life, it's never been an issue for me. It's never come up in my life until I started doing this stuff, where people, the first times, maybe I was explaining this and somebody went, no, that's wrong because it's flat. And I'd be like, what? This is how it started for me, right? But it's more and more and more. And it gets to the stage where you question everything. But because I know for a fact, it's common sense that they're lying about the speed of light, when people say, yeah, but centuries worth of studies and evidence, it means nothing. When they say, photos from the moon, give me a break. No, that means nothing. They've not been to the moon. They haven't. It's ridiculous. It's an insult to people's intelligence for loads of reasons. Loads of reasons. Not to mention the fact that Buzz Aldrin kept on saying that they'd never been, right? So, I am not saying it's flat, but I'm definitely not going to say it's round. My own observations, if I had been aware that there was a possibility that it was flat. When I was a kid, the amount of planes that I'd been on, I'm sure that if I'd had that in the back of my mind, I would have slowly gone, shit, that plane can't. I would have said to the pilot, hey, if it's round, or if it... But it was not something that I was ever aware of. So, I have to do, there's still a couple of things I have to do for myself. It doesn't matter what Simon Dan says, laughing at people that say it's flat. Rubbish. You are clueless, mate. You believe the narrative, right? Everybody does. But Neil Tyson's laughing at people that... It's just this blanket of people that are either unable to think for themselves and they just believe the narrative, or they're lying, right? The lies go deep, very deep. I know they're lying about the speed of light. It's ridiculous. 200. Somebody worked out spinning mirrors that light travels from there to there at 299,792,458 meters per second. Oh yeah, and then because of that angle, rubbish. It's an insult to people's intelligence. Therefore, I am still totally on the fence with this flat round thing. And for good reason. All of those people that laugh, whether flat earthers are laughing at me because I think it could be round, or round earthers are laughing at me because I think it could be flat. That's fine. I don't give a monkey's who laughs at me. I can think for myself. I don't do this under peer pressure and nah. I think for myself. There are 3 people now, right, have said to me, mate, work it out yourself, right? They're asking me to work it out. Maybe because I can hold both ideas in my mind and stay objective. I have nothing to gain from it being flat or round. It makes no odds to me, which is probably why people are asking me to do something to try and test it. And I am going to. I have to. because there are these things that do not add up. And believe you me, molten core, tectonic plates, volcanic activity, it all ties in with a round Earth. But they managed to lie about GPS and everything else, right? So I just wanted to put that up there, because yesterday, when I wrote The Speed of Light and the Pyramids, arguably two of the biggest lies that humanity has been fed, a part of me yesterday wanted to do the three, but I didn't. I don't know why. Maybe I just needed to think about, all day yesterday after I did that, not the bestest sleep last night, because I just cannot shake that vision of planes. Flat, straight, everything. There's no indication of, right? So that's all I want you to say, okay? Maybe the three biggest lies that we've been fed, and one is the Earth is round. I don't know. I'm on the fence. On the fence. So if you're a flat earther, don't laugh at me for being on the fence about it being round. And if you're a round earther, don't laugh at me for being on the fence for it possibly being flat. I am smack bang in the middle. I don't believe a word anybody says to me. When it comes to scientists, give me a break. Give me a break. So that's where I am on this perfect Thursday morning. I will be back. Oh yes, I will be back. All right, peeps, laters. I just had to get that out of my system. Laters.